Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab.
Hi there.
Today we're taking a deep dive into something, well, absolutely vital if you want to sound natural in English. Phrasal verbs.
They're everywhere.
Totally. We've gathered 20 essential ones that we think English learners really need to get a handle on.
Yeah, these combinations, a verb and a particle, they just add so much nuance to everyday English.
They really do. Whether it's just like casual chats or even work emails.
Right.
And for those of you who approach learning with a real intention, putting in the work, mastering these isn't just about ticking a grammar box.
No, not at all. It's more about connecting authentically, feeling more confident when you speak.
Think of them as maybe building blocks for fluency. We're going to explore them through some everyday themes, give you the meanings, lots of examples, hopefully help them stick.
And it's important to remember that growth mindset idea, right? Mistakes aren't failures.
Not at all, just learning opportunities. So stay curious, keep at it, and actively try using these in your own conversations.
Definitely. Phrasal verbs really are sort of the core of everyday spoken English. Native speakers use them constantly without even thinking.
Sure.
So getting a solid grasp on them will massively improve your understanding and how naturally you express yourself.
Yeah.
And what's quite interesting is how the meaning of the phrasal verb is often, quite different from the original verb alone. It really shows how dynamic language is.
Okay, let's get into it. Our first group focuses on personal growth and motivation. First up, pick up.
Ah, classic.
Right. Now, this can mean learning something informally, like maybe you pick up a few words of Spanish on holiday.
Just by hearing it.
Or you mean starting a habit, like maybe you've picked up meditation recently.
Good one.
And of course, the literal meaning, lifting or collecting something, picking up the groceries, picking up your dry cleaning.
Sure.
So for you focusing on self-improvement, think about pick up for those small, steady gains towards your goals.
That's a great way to frame it. And thinking about language learning itself, every new phrasal verb you manage to pick up is real progress.
Yeah.
A little win worth celebrating. Maybe think about a skill you've started learning recently. How are you picking it up?
Good prompt.
Yeah.
Okay, another key one for growth. Keep up.
Maintaining momentum.
Exactly. Maintaining pace, progress, awareness. Or just continuing with something.
Like keeping up with the news.
Yeah, or keeping up with your studies, keeping up with deadlines at work. It really highlights that need for sustained effort to reach your goals.
Yeah, and something to think about with keep up is, sometimes you can feel overwhelmed, right? And that stops you.
Totally.
So how do you avoid that? Often breaking down those big goals into smaller, more manageable steps really helps you keep up without burning out. It's about that steady momentum.
That definitely rings true. Then we have get over.
Recovery.
Yeah, recovering from a setback could be emotional, physical, mental, just moving past something difficult. We all face challenges, right? Getting over a disappointment or an illness. This one really speaks to our resilience.
It does. And that ability to get over things is, it's a hallmark of a resilient mindset, isn't it?
I think so.
It's about kind of reframing those setbacks as temporary and focusing on your ability to bounce back. Can you think of a time you successfully got over a big hurdle? Reflecting on that can really help.
Absolutely. And the last one in this section is move on.
Progressing.
Yeah, progressing beyond a situation, emotionally or practically, leaving it behind, like moving on from an old job or moving on after an argument with a friend. It's all about forward momentum.
Right. Sometimes, as learners, you can get a bit stuck on past mistakes, maybe perceived failures. Move on is a good reminder to just let go of what's holding you back and focus your energy on what's next.
Focus on the path ahead, not dwell on the past.
Exactly. Progress, not perfection.
Okay, let's shift gears. Phrasal verbs for relationships and social life. First one, hang out.
Oh, yeah, super common.
Incredibly common. Means spending informal time with people. Hanging out at a park, hanging out with your book club. Just relaxed, casual socializing.
And what's nice about hang out is it captures that sort of ease of casual interactions.
Yeah.
And those moments are great opportunities to practice your English in a low-stress way, build some social confidence. When are you next planning to hang out with someone?
Good question for our listeners. Okay, next. This has a couple of main meanings.
Right, the unexpected meeting.
Yeah, meeting someone by chance. You might run into an old boss at the supermarket.
Happens all the time.
Or it can mean encountering a problem. You might run into technical issues with your computer. So chance encounters and unexpected hurdles.
Definitely. Life's full of surprises, good and bad. And viewing these moments, whether it's bumping into someone or hitting a snag, as chances to learn or connect, that fosters a really resourceful attitude.
Have you ever run into someone totally unexpectedly?
Oh, absolutely. More times than I can count.
Me too. Okay, next is look after. This means caring for someone or something.
Responsibility.
Nurturing. Yeah, looking after your plants, looking after a pet, looking after younger siblings, even looking after your own health. Self-care.
That's a great point. And connecting that to the bigger picture, look after, also highlights how important empathy and responsibility are in our relationships. It reminds us that caring for others is just as vital as, looking after ourselves, finding that balance.
Very true. And the last one for relationships. Get along.
Harmony.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Having a good relationship, interacting well. You hope new colleagues will get along, or you're happy you get along with your flatmates. It's about smooth interactions.
And what's key with get along usually is good communication and understanding.
Definitely.
Building those positive relationships, personally or professionally, often takes a conscious effort to sort of understand where the other person is coming from.
Right. Okay, shifting gears again. Let's talk work and productivity. First phrasal verb, take on.
Accepting a challenge.
Yeah, accepting or starting a new responsibility, a task, a challenge, taking on a big project at work, or even taking on learning a new language shows initiative.
It does. Take on really reflects a readiness to embrace new things, step up, which is, so important for professional growth. Stepping forward, showing what you can do. What's a new responsibility you've recently taken on?
Good one. Next is follow up.
Crucial in the workplace.
Totally. Checking on something, continuing something, a task, a conversation. You follow up an email after a meeting or follow up on an application you sent. Shows you're thorough, you see things through.
Absolutely. In work and frankly personal life too, being able to follow up effectively is key. Make sure things don't fall through the cracks, builds trust, dependability.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, next one here is turn down.
Rejection. Saying no.
Exactly. Rejecting or declining an offer, an invitation, a request. You might turn down a job offer if it's not right, or turn down going out because you need to study. It's about setting boundaries, making choices.
And what's interesting there is learning to strategically turn down things that don't fit your priorities. That's actually a really important skill for managing your time and energy effectively. It lets you focus on what really matters to you. Saying no sometimes means saying yes to something else.
That's a powerful way to look at it. And finally, for work and productivity, bring up.
Introducing a topic.
Yes, introducing a topic or issue into a discussion.
Yeah.
Or it can mean raising or nurturing, like bringing up children.
Right. Two distinct meanings there.
So you might bring up a concern in a meeting or bring up a sensitive issue with a colleague.
Yeah. Bring up really highlights the importance of communication, being able to introduce important subjects, get them on the table. And then there's that nurturing sense too. What's a topic you've been meaning to bring up with someone?
Always good to think about. Okay, let's move to phrasal verbs for problem solving and challenges. First, work out.
This one's versatile.
Very. It can mean solving a problem, like working out a difficult math equation.
Or physical exercise, working out at the gym.
Right. And it can also mean ending successfully. You hope a complicated situation will just work out in the end.
Exactly. Workout often implies a proactive, solution-focused approach to problems. Actively looking for answers, trying to get a positive result. Can you think of a problem you managed to work out recently?
Good question. Next is sort out.
Organizing. Resolving.
Yeah. Organizing or resolving something could be a messy room or a disagreement. Sorting out your files or trying to sort out a misunderstanding, bringing order and clarity.
That's right. And the process of sorting out often means breaking down something that feels overwhelming into smaller, more manageable bits.
Makes it less daunting.
Definitely.
Our next one is deal with.
Handling things.
Yeah, handling or addressing a situation, a person, a problem. Really flexible. Dealing with difficult customers, dealing with a broken appliance, dealing with stress. It's about facing challenges directly, taking action.
And what's important to remember with deal with is that actually facing challenges, even the uncomfortable ones, head on. That's how you build confidence and resilience over time.
Sure.
How did you deal with the last tricky situation you faced?
And the final one for problem solving. Figure out.
Understanding. Solving through thought.
Yes. Understanding or solving something after thinking about it, maybe investigating, figuring out how new software works, or figuring out the best way to get somewhere. It emphasizes that process of understanding, finding the answer.
Absolutely. Figure out really highlights how important curiosity and persistence are when you encounter something new or confusing. Actively searching for knowledge, for solutions. What are you currently trying to figure out?
Always something. Okay, last category, travel and exploration. First is set off,
Beginning a journey.
right? Beginning a journey or triggering something. You set off on holiday. Or a loud bang might set off car alarms.
Sure. Set off marks the start of something new, a trip, an event. Often has that feeling of anticipation, the start of an adventure. Can you remember the last trip you set off on?
Next, check in.
Registration? Updates?
Yeah, registering hotel, airport, maybe an online event. Or just updating someone. Checking in at the hotel desk or checking in with your team about progress. It's about being organized, staying connected.
Definite. Check-in really points to the need for organization and keeping communication lines open, especially when traveling or working on projects together. When did you last have to check in somewhere or with someone?
Our next travel one is drop off.
Delivery, decrease.
Exactly. Delivering or leaving something or someone somewhere, dropping off a package, dropping off kids at school. But it can also mean a decrease, like sales might drop off after Christmas or website views drop off.
Yeah, it shows how one phrasal verb can cover both a physical action, like delivery, and a more abstract concept, like a decline.
Yeah.
It really depends on the context.
Good example of their flexibility. And lastly, get around.
Navigation. Avoidance.
Yeah. Traveling or moving easily in an area, getting around town on the bus.
Or finding a way to avoid something, like getting around a tricky rule or problem.
Right. It highlights being adaptable, resourceful, navigating new places or tricky situations. How do you usually get around where you live?
Interesting question.
So wrapping up, phrasal verbs really are, well, indispensable for taking your English up a level, sounding more natural, more like a native speaker.
Absolutely critical.
Remember the key things. Learn them in context. Look for patterns if you can. Practice using them. Actually speak them. Write them, and please don't worry about mistakes.
No, they're part of learning. Essential, actually.
Totally. So keep picking up these useful phrases, keep sorting out any confusion, and keep moving on in your journey to fluency.
Well said.
And hey, if you found this exploration helpful, please do like this video, share it with anyone else learning English, and subscribe to the Learn English Lab YouTube channel for more language learning insights.
Thanks for tuning in.